Hello Pisces, this is your October forecast and also applies if you are Pisces rising or Pisces moon. So the news this month on the 10th of the month is that Mercury, the planet that rules travel, technology and communications, goes direct, making things much easier for you in those areas. So let me start out this month, however, with Venus, planet ruling relationships and love. Venus, for the first 8 days of this month, is still in your 6th house of work, service and health. It's been there for a long time because we had a retrograde in Venus as well between end of July and beginning of September. So Venus here, this could be some good news for you connected with work. It could be also you finding something that you really love doing, that you enjoy doing. And also you may find that you enjoy volunteering, doing something where you feel as though you're making a valuable contribution. And that makes you feel good about yourself. And very often when we volunteer and help others, that improves our own health. And I'm convinced that's why the House of Health and volunteering service to others is the same house, is that 6th house. So, on the 9th of the month, however, we get an exciting development because Venus joins Jupiter and Mars in this 7th house of relationships, Pisces. Well, this has to be the month of relationships, with Mars there all month, Jupiter there for almost another year, and Venus bringing her gentle touch to this area of relationships. For those of you looking for a relationship, from the 9th onwards, Venus is bringing you a wonderful opportunity to meet that special someone. Jupiter may even give you a choice of people, and it could be a business partner. Doesn't have to be a romantic relationship necessarily. But the Mars energy there is encouraging you to be proactive, to get into new relationships, to look at what you can learn from your existing relationships. The Mars energy can be a bit tough, but Venus softens it. So if you've been having maybe an issue in a relationship, the Venus may enable you to calm and soothe the situation and bring peace there once again. But certainly there's going to be a lot of activity happening for you in relationships this month, and I think it's going to be quite exciting, Pisces. So as I mentioned, Mercury going direct on the 10th of the month. We've got the Sun in this 8th house as well. So for the first 9 days of the month, it's important to reflect on your finances, how you're spending money, what you're doing with money. Maybe you're in a joint financial situation. Does something need to change in that situation? I would try to delay signing anything to do with finances until after the 10th of the month, if at all possible. Obviously, sometimes you can't help it, but if it's a legal document, please try to get at least another 2 professionals to look at that legal document before you sign on that dotted line, because there's a possibility that something may have been omitted, or you may have to just redo the whole thing again. It could be costly, especially because it's happening in your 8th house. It's a good time to reevaluate anything to do with your financial situation, your banking, your insurance, your taxes, anything to do with an inheritance. All this comes into this 8th house, and it's shining a light on it, giving you an opportunity to make any important changes that might be needed. Because as well, on the 13th of the month, we've also got a new moon happening in this 8th house, giving you an opportunity for some new beginnings connected with your finances, connected with how you deal with other people's money, how you deal with maybe your bills, your debts, and a breath of fresh air of new opportunities coming in, maybe to raise financing from other people for those of you that are looking for that, maybe in the way of a grant, a sponsorship, a scholarship, that kind of a thing. On the 24th of the month, we've got the Sun coming into your 9th house, shining a light maybe on a trip. Maybe you decide you're going to travel somewhere exciting, plan some travel. It's shining a light on some further education. Maybe you'd like to learn something new. And it's also shining a light as well on maybe doing some kind of international exchange, doing something internationally with maybe a business or an idea, a product or a service overseas. And on the 27th of the month, we've got a full moon happening in your 3rd house here in Taurus. Full moon often means a culmination of something. So maybe something you've been trying to sell for a while actually sells. Maybe something you've been marketing or promoting, there's a culmination and you see what you've been doing well and maybe where you need to improve. It's also maybe a culmination in a friendship, somebody that, you know, in the community, maybe that you work with, maybe there's a culmination, something you've been doing for the community and you get an acknowledgement for it. It's also possibly a culmination from something you've been studying. Maybe you've been studying hard and the fruition is that you pass, you get your certification, your qualification. Also, it may show you where you need to study. Where a full moon comes, it shines a light on that area, showing what's working and where you may need to put some more energy into it to bring more balance into that area. I've got a very benign aspect happening between Pluto and Jupiter from your 11th to your 7th house. Excuse me, it's a trine aspect happening there. And so this could bring you some really good news about a relationship. Or you could meet somebody who is very powerful, who could impact you in a very positive way. There's a very positive aspect. Maybe you, on the other hand, inspire somebody else. Maybe you inspire someone and have a very positive, powerful effect on their life. But it's certainly about using your power and your influence in a very positive way. It's giving you that potential to do it. We've also got a square coming up for the last 2 weeks of the month. A square between Neptune in your sign, square to Saturn. So Neptune in your 1st, there's always a tension with a square, something you may feel a certain, oh, yes. So this is Saturn, which is the planet of structure, which Pisces often finds quite difficult because Pisces, ruled by Neptune, has faith that things will work out, I'm going to go with the flow, or you try to at least. And so this aspect is showing you that you need to make sure that with Saturn, it's about integrity and about keeping your word and your honour and not necessarily leaving things to chance or to hope that they're going to work out, but making sure that whatever you say you're going to do, you will actually do. There could be some promises made from somebody else that they're not able to keep. Yes, especially maybe connected with your career, maybe connected with work in some way. Maybe they've promised you that raise and then there just aren't the funds to be able to give you that raise. But the main thing is that you keep your word and you don't overcommit so that you then have to disappoint somebody. We're going to see this globally with leaders promising the moon with the Neptune in Pisces, and then maybe just not being able to keep those promises to their people. So there you have it. I wish you a wonderful month, lovely Pisces. Thank you very much for commenting, sharing, subscribing, and for coming for your own personal reading. Bye for now.